sometimes I get lost in my thoughts and just do it. And sometimes it's okay, 14 miles to the next rest stop, 10 miles to the next rest stop. And I break the big long day into those little pieces and just think that small chunk and live through the day.
You embrace the suck. You know, everybody's doing it. No one's above anybody. We're just getting through the dust and the muck and
laughing about the silliness of it. Like, why are we out here? Because it's fun, right? Yeah. Okay, it is. Yeah, we're still having fun. We're still laughing.
When you ask a car, are there many uphills between point A and point B? And they'll say, no, it's mostly all downhill. When you do that, in essence, on a bicycle, you find out it probably is mostly uphill. So it doesn't jive.
It's a great adventure. You see places that you think you never see, you know, if you're just out riding by yourself, you know, in your local area. And honestly, you get to see Oklahoma like you've never seen it before on a bicycle, and that's what we want. You know, it's a little grueling, but it's fun.
It's all great. It's a great experience all around. You learn and grow, and you deal with the emotions and the frustrations and all of the mental aspect that comes along with it, and then you enjoy the evening and the family, and then get up and do it again the next day.
There is nothing quite like the annual Oklahoma Freewheel event. Now in its 37th year, the epic two-wheel tour takes adventure cyclists across the Sooner State, often traveling along meandering country lanes and passing through smaller towns. Ada was fortunate enough to be selected as one of the stops along the way, offering approximately 450 road warriors a peaceful reprieve before the next day's challenging ride.
We started in Hollis, Oklahoma this year, which is in the southwest corner of Oklahoma. Left Sunday morning to Frederick, Oklahoma. And from Frederick, we rode to Elgin to Lindsay, and then Lindsay to Ada, where we're here today. And tomorrow we're leaving for McAllister, and then we'll go to Poteau, and then we'll finish at Fort Smith. We want people to be able to take off a week, you know, which is hard for a lot of people. It can get a little hot, you know, and we're seeing this week, you know, and a little hot and humid, but it's always been in June.
This year's participants ended the 67-mile ride from Lindsay to Ada on the foliage-rich East Central University campus, a very welcome sight at the end of a hot and humid day. It marked the 5th time Ada served as a host community for the event. Ada was one of the stops on the inaugural Oklahoma Freewheel Tour in 1979 and hosted cyclists again in 1982, 1988, and 2003. Rider safety is, of course, paramount to Oklahoma Freewheel. In addition to the daily presence of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, riders constantly look out for each other and make sure there are plenty of safe places to rest along the route. Protective gear is required, and riders follow all traffic laws, as well as the rules of common courtesy. Riding is encouraged during daylight hours, and there are support vehicles traveling along with cyclists.
On a controlled ride like this, it's about the only time you can ride continuously all week, point A, point B, with support people in case you need it. You're not out by yourself.
You know, there's things that we can't control. Sometimes going into a town, there's only so many ways you can get in. We've had some towns this week even, and on this year, that there's some 5-mile stretches where it's really heavily trafficked, oil field traffic or new construction traffic. So you got to contend with it. We hire 2 state troopers to be with us every day. So they're out there protecting the cyclists and the motorists because we're sharing the roads together.
We were on a section with a bunch of oil traffic, and this guy goes, I'll run in front of you because the oil trucks aren't going to hit me. They may run over you, but they're not going to hit me. And so for 6 miles, everybody ate dust.
Yeah, we were white, snow. I mean, we have a friend with a beard kind of longer than that, and he looked like, Father Time.
Father Time Santa.
Yeah.
We all check to make sure that everybody made it in. When the heat gets bad or when the weather gets bad or somebody breaks down, we're not done until we know everybody's in and our family's okay.
It changes it, going into rural areas, where bicycles aren't there all the time. They don't necessarily know how to ride around them or what laws are with bicyclists on the road. So it is different, and we're looking at some different ways to start educating, people out there. So, if we have signage out there, say cyclist ahead or, caution, stuff like that. We, put some of those out today to kind of help out with some of the roads. But it's a thing where we need to get better at educating the cyclists, the promoters, and then just, Oklahoma in general, we just need to get out there and just be more visible.
I'm here until the last rider goes through, no matter how late it is. I've been on rides to where if he weren't there at a certain time, he was out of luck. I'm here for every rider that wants to be here. But the first one or the last one, they're just as important as any of them. They all paid for the ride, so they should be taken care of.
Dennis Yost is a bicycle enthusiast, but has dedicated himself on a volunteer basis to taking care of Oklahoma freewheel riders each year. He has become a welcome fixture on the annual trips and a splendid sight for weary eyes, providing his own unique oasis of a rest stop each of the 7 days of the tour.
Oh, Dennis, he is a sight to see. Oh, Dennis, he's who I want to see. Oh, Dennis, we love him. We love you. We're glad he's here. Woo for Dennis.
The rest stop came about by accident, and we needed a rest stop. I've got porta potties so they can go to the bathroom. I got cold water, ice cold Gatorade, and cookies, all they want. And in shade, benches so they can sit down. And the benches, I've designed and built the benches so once they're wide enough they can lay down on them if they need to. And that happens occasionally. Somebody comes in and needs to lay down, take a nap, or I drive the route a week ahead of time so I know exactly where I'm going to be on that day. And come in and set up. It takes about an hour and a half to set up and about 2.5 hours to tear it down, because you got to clean everything and put it to bed. They buy my fuel and I get a new jersey. And I got a donation bucket. If the riders want to donate, fine. I do a free rest stop. If they want to donate, I don't care. And the donations offset the price of the ice and cookies, Gatorade, whatever I have to purchase. This is what I do. This is my ride.
Oklahoma Freewheel maintains an egalitarian approach to cycling. If you like to ride for distance and you think you're in condition to do it, then you're encouraged to join the tour. Although support vehicles monitor each leg of the ride, nobody wants to end up riding into the next stop on 4 wheels instead of 2. The common denominator is a strong love for and dedication to cycling.
We got everybody. I mean, we range from, I think our youngest was 7 or 8, all the way up to, I believe, 89. It's anybody. We have, doctors, lawyers, we have, construction workers, we have people that are just riders.
Train, train, train. Start slow, progressively get more involved in it. I don't even think they necessarily have to join a bicycle club. I think it would be helpful just to have partners that are going to be out there bicycling with you. But you just have to take it slow and easy, acclimate. You've been acclimated before, know what you can do, but know your limits.
You add on a few miles each time. You ride till you're tired. Next week you add on a few more, and you just gradually get up to that point where you're ready to roll and ride 70 miles in a day.
As if the mileage weren't challenging enough, a segment of Oklahoma freewheel riders choose to follow the road less paved. There is an alternate route each day that traverses dirt and gravel instead of concrete and asphalt. It's a dirty job, but somebody has to do it.
Gravel versus pavement, it parallels a lot. We've crossed over a lot with the road riders. Our good friend Billy is riding road from Kansas, and the very first day we crossed over the highway and he's yelling at us and cheering us on, and we're yelling at him, and we'll kind of go different directions and everything, but try to share some of the same resources. But for us, getting out in the gravel, we don't deal with the traffic. We have cows, we have grass, we have the open fields, and where they're being passed by 70, 100, 300 trucks in a day, we have 3. So, and it's just, for us, it's a lot more fun.
You're covered in dust. I mean, you just know that comes with the territory, and know to put your head down or cover your mouth kind of thing. Depending on, your water bottle gets dusty too. You take a sip and you're like, oh yeah, that was grit.
But for the most part, when you do get past, we get a wave, or we get a slow down, or we get a, hey, what are you doing out here?
Yeah, are you okay?
And on the road, they go by at 70 miles an hour, and we get talked to maybe a little bit more, and in a nice way, like, oh yeah, if you need anything, stop by here, and they're usually pretty gracious, like, oh yeah, come on in, and it just gets you away from everything. Yeah.
It's a bumpier ride,
but it's an adventure.
Regardless of riding surface, at the end of each day, it is all about the adventure of being out there on a bike, interfacing with whatever comes along. That love of adventure is what brings riders back year after year.
This is my 37th year to ride freewheel. Every day is different. Every freewheel is different. As we know now, we call it climate change, isn't that it? But the climate does change. And we have hot days, we have cool days, rainy days, stormy days, etc. And things continuously change.
We got up at 4 o'clock this morning, and it's just fun. We saw a meteor comet, break apart in the sky. It's just like, well, this is why we do it. Neat things happening.
You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen over the next hill, what the temperature's going to be like that day, what the weather's going to be like that day. Last year we had a ton of storms and it was rather cool. This year it's hot and really dry, but it's still fun. I just like to get out and experience nature. That's my thing, is it gets you out of the city. A lot of people will ride and not wear headphones, and so you get to really hear everything around you, and you get to experience the stuff that you don't get to experience when you're driving down that same road in a car.
Perhaps the biggest incentive to ride Oklahoma Freewheel each year is the opportunity to reunite with a close-knit community of people battling through the same daunting challenges. The key to finishing the event is to endure it. Enduring the freewheel, in turn, creates friendships that will also endure.
It's like a traveling family reunion. That's just what freewheel is. It's like a family reunion everywhere. I see people, I only see them here and don't see them anywhere else.
Everybody's going to do it. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but we're going to be there at the finish. You're going to be welcomed, you're going to be embraced, you're going to be supported, celebrated, because it's an accomplishment whether you're doing 5 miles or you're doing 200 miles.
Take us with you.
Everybody loves each other. It's we've never had any problems. It's just a fun way, just hanging out. Everybody's camping together. You're riding together. You're riding with new people every day. You're camping with someone new every night. So it's a really neat big family.
I bought a new bike. I'm back here again and gotten very involved with the cycling community. It's truly been life-changing and opened up a lot of doors and friendships for me.